ni sa re ga re sa re ga re sa re ni sa re ga re sa re ga re sa sa. Hi, I'm Pooja from Dil To Pagal Hai. Nice to meet you. Ni sa re ga re sa re ga re sa re.
Nice. It's not going to get out of the 90s. But it's a welcome change from Kuch Kuch Hota Hai to Dil To Pagal Hai for today.
But whatever it is, मेरी range देखो.
Hmm.
ये सब दिल्ली के ऐसे फुटपाथ मार्केट की देन है, लेकिन है तो अच्छा ना.
मेरे बाजार टाइप्स.
नहीं, सरोजनी जनपद टाइप्स. जनपद के ऊपर मिलती है ये ऑक्सीडाइज, जो कि अब ये खराब हो चुका है, लेकिन मुझे फिर भी अच्छी लगती है पहनने का, तो मैंने पहनी है.
No, but so you know how
दिल्ली में
will this episode be like today for you?
No. ये वो भी है बाबा, अपने प्रोटेक्शन के लिए. आप जो लड़के नकल्स नहीं वो करते,
This is not that.
ये और क्या है?
Why are you being so violent? Even in your thoughts?
सॉरी, मेरे कपड़ों के साथ नहीं जा रहा आज ये बात.
Exactly. Yogi's a mood today.
देवियों और उनके सज्जनों और बाकी के folks, this is not a therapy session. My name is Yogi
And my name is Kabeer.
this is Kabeer. ये जैसा भी है ये मेरा है पिछले 9 साल के.
जैसा भी.
और जैसा कि मैं पहले भी बोल चुका हूँ, अगर आपने इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो इसको खाना नहीं दूंगा.
I don't think anybody believes that. Or anyway, I think everybody should be aware of this, that मैं एक आत्मनिर्भर इंसान हूँ. Yes. और स्विगी और जोमैटो मुझे चलाने आते हैं.
ये तकियानूसी बातें करना यहाँ पे बंद करो. Time for some तकियानूसी बातें.
Pillow talks.
Yeah. Growing up gay in India, हमारे पास क्वेश्चन ज़्यादा थे और आंसर्स कम. इसीलिए हमने सोचा क्यों ना लाइफ को अनकॉम्प्लिकेट करे. 1 DM at a time. You can reach out to us on our Instagram. We are called Yogi and Kabeer. And इसी के साथ सब्सक्राइब कर लो. और सबसे पहला मैसेज क्या है बाबा?
Okay, so the first message says, I want to become a civil servant, but the possibility of me going into a government service, that too such a reputed one, will require for me to maintain an image in public. While I do believe that becoming the first openly gay IAS officer would give many in my community a beacon of hope to look up to, but I'm scared that if I open my identity, I might open a nasty Pandora's box, which might choke my career before it even takes its first breath. This sort of an uncertain feeling about the future has often left me paralyzed when it comes to committing to a relationship, because the first instinct in my mind is that this will not work. बताइए अपनी ओल्ड जिंदर की एक्सपीरियंसेस के हिसाब से.
So I live in the IAS capital of the world. मुझे ऐसा लगता है.
वर्ल्ड
तो और क्या?
IAS दुनिया में नहीं होता, इंडिया में ही होता है.
तो इंडिया कहाँ है भाई? कुछ मत कहना आज. I love my India.
Okay.
सजन मेरा इंडिया, बलम मेरा इंडिया. So
So my name is India then.
सबसे पहले तो it's just so good to hear that people want to pursue these very different kind of dreams, right? And हमारी community में जितनी ज़रूरत एक content creator की है, उतनी ही ज़्यादा ज़रूरत एक IAS officer की भी है. So yes, it will be a beacon of hope. उससे का बहुत बहुत बढ़कर कुछ होगा. You don't even realize कि जब when you do something for yourself and when you get step out of your comfort zone, तुम कितने लोगों को inspire कर रहे हो. So that is there. And having said that, you don't have to do it for anyone. For example, हम अपने ही अगर example ले, we started doing a podcast because वो हम करना चाहते थे, नॉट बिकॉज हम कुछ बनना चाहते थे किसी और के लिए. दैट वाज नॉट द इंटेंशन. एंड देयर इज समथिंग इन गीता एज वेल कि कर्म करो, फल की चिंता मत करो. आई फील if you really want to become a civil servant, you should anyway pursue your dream. Because भाई ऐसा नहीं है कि तुम्हें प्राइड का फ्लैग ही लहराते हुए अपने इंटरव्यू में जाना है. You can do that, but you can also choose not to. We have a very recent example of someone who is into, government sector, Anish Kawande, who has become a politician. We had examples like Saurabh Kirpal, जो कि हमारे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में फंक्शन कर रहे हैं. There are these examples. ऐसा नहीं है कि ऐसे एग्जाम्पल्स नहीं हैं, एंड आप भी ऐसा एग्जाम्पल बन सकते हो ओनली इफ यू वांट टू. रही बात कि मैं परस्यू ही ना करूं क्योंकि आई विल हैव टू कम आउट, ऐसा नहीं है. वो मैं बोलता हूँ ना कि उस ब्रिज पे पहुंचोगे तो सोचना ना उसको क्रॉस करने के बारे में, पहले पढ़ाई तो करो भाई उतनी.
I only think that, okay, let me just ask you something. For instance, you've become an IAS officer already. Did you become an IAS officer because you're gay? The answer is no. So when that answer is no already, which means that you becoming an IAS officer has got nothing to do with you being gay. And if your goal is to be a professional such as that, then let that be your goal and not anything else in this, because
I think inspiring others should be a byproduct.
Yeah, that is that exactly. That cannot be your thought anyway to begin with. And no matter how much it is the need of the hour, but for you, the need of the hour is to just prepare yourself and focus towards the preparation that helps you become one. Thankfully, you're in a career which really doesn't sabotage your safety in terms of, for instance, what if you were pursuing defense services? Now, that is when it could have been a problem, because even till date, defense services, you cannot be out. Their law does not allow it. Even though हमारा जो Indian law है, so to say, which is the civil law, it allows for us to be gay. The defense doesn't. So while you should be thankful for that. So yeah, let that be your focus. And I'm sure you already know of it. And if you don't, then here it is. There is already a beacon of hope. Not to say that हमें और नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन for you to know that there is this one person from Odisha. Her name is Aishwarya Rutuparno Pradhan, and she's India's first openly transgender IAS officer, and she is still serving. And she's done that already. She's paved the way for you. All you've now got to do is follow the footsteps. Maybe make your own path, but she was only able to also do it not because she was transgender, but because she wanted to achieve the goal of becoming an IAS officer. And I think that should help you and give you enough hope to focus and prepare.
And who says you cannot serve looks while serving the country?
It's not even talking about looks.
मतलब मैं कह रहा हूँ आप कर सकते हो ना दोनों चीजें.
No, it means that you can also serve your own identity while being a very good civil servant, such as an IAS officer.
Yeah, and एक insider news ये है कि यार यहाँ राजेंद्र नगर के अंदर जो IAS का हब बन चुका है, वहाँ पे ग्राइंडर काफी धूम मचा रहा है.
Really?
फुल ऑन, मतलब पीजी के अंदर बीजी, नो नॉट बीजी, बिजी. पीजी के अंदर काफी बिजी हो रहे हो.
Yeah, but what is more interesting is that
कि मुझे कैसे पता? मुझे पता था कि ये जरूर ये मेरे कोरे दामन के ऊपर ये लांछन लगाया जाएगा.
I'm sorry. Do you blame me?
I have friends.
Really?
Yes, जिन्होंने मुझे बताया है कि यहाँ पे ग्राइंडर काफी फल फूल रहा है.
Okay.
So, yeah, मतलब.
And why was this information necessary for them?
कि तुम अकेले नहीं हो. There are so many civil servant aspirants जो कि who are queer.
Yeah, which means like I don't think his point was that there is no gay person in
अंदर की खबर बता दी.
IAS.
तो उसके ऊपर भी सीता जी को तो आग के ऊपर से जाना ही पड़ा ना खुद को प्रूव करने के लिए.
Wow, suddenly he's equated himself to Sita ji. Wow. इतने कोई महान नहीं हो आप ड्राम में. Look at this. Yeah. I can see.
See, मेरा मस्कारा ना
Told you.
Okay, this was not a therapy session for you. अगर था तो great, नहीं था तो वैसे भी मतलब therapy session तो था ही नहीं है.
But I hope it helps you.
Yeah. But अगर ये आपके लिए थेरेपी सेशन था, you the person जो अभी हमें देख रहा है, जाके सब्सक्राइब कर लो यार, बहुत अच्छा लगेगा हमें, बहुत बढ़िया. 5K we are aiming, क्या पता हो जाए. सब कुछ आपके ऊपर निर्भर करता है.
और आज मैं अपना डब्बा लेकर आया हूँ साथ में.
अब्बा डब्बा जब्बा, क्योंकि अगर 5K नहीं होंगे तो इसको खाना नहीं मिलेगा. Moving on to our next message. So, some lesbian representation on the show.
Yay! That's a first.
Yes. And this message comes from Karnataka. So, their message is, I realized I was into girls when I was 19 years old, and it happened in the most painful way possible. I think my life before I realized this was much better and happier. I even asked God to make me normal, but then I slowly realized that it's not a problem to be fixed.
Great.
Still, I'm not able to cope with this fact. What should I do to accept myself more? Okay, I think सबसे पहले तो lesbians have entered the chat. And let me tell you कि हमारे देश में और दुनिया में लेस्बियंस का जो फ्यूचर है वो काफ़ी ब्राइट है. सो डरो मत, आप मुझसे मत पूछना कि इसका लॉजिक क्या है, बट आई हैव अ ग्रेट फीलिंग कि दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी गुड ईयर, डेकेड एंड
मिलेनियम सेंचुरी
फॉर द लेस्बियंस. मैं ये चीज़ कभी किसी स्ट्रेट लड़के को नहीं बोलता, लेकिन
because also they don't deserve.
एक लेस्बियन बहन को मैं ज़रूर कहूँगा कि एक फिल्म में ये बात कही गई थी, काफ़ी इम्पॉर्टेंट, कि किसी भी बस ट्रेन लड़की या अपनी सेक्सुअलिटी को जानने की जो जल्दी है उसके पीछे मत भागना, क्योंकि एक जाएगी दूसरी आएगी. सॉरी, पॉइंट इज व्हेन वी कम आउट, वो जो टाइम होता है, आई थिंक that's very difficult, harsh on ourselves, on the people around us. But it's like, there are things when we start them, we find them very difficult and very painful. But as we go along, we realize, okay, it was good for us to go through that pain. For example, if you start working out, muscles में अलग अलग जगहों पे पेन होना शुरू हो जाता है. If we give up and if we say कि यार वर्कआउट करना तो इज नॉट वर्थ इट, बिकॉज इनिशियली यू गो थ्रू दैट पेन, बट दैट्स नॉट द केस. वंस यू स्टार्ट गोइंग थ्रू इट, यू रियलाइज कि ये तो बस स्टार्टिंग का था. एक्चुअल में यू फील सो गुड अबाउट योर सेल्फ एंड द होल process of working out after some time has passed. Same logic applies to coming out. सिर्फ difference ये है कि we have to keep coming out till the time जब तक हम we are just tired कि अच्छा अब नहीं करना. But I think for you, अभी ये चीज़ शुरू हुई है, इसलिए you are probably in that zone where you feel कि I was better when I had not realized that I was this person. But trust me, with time, you will realize that accepting yourself will be the best thing you will ever do for yourself. So, thoda time though, just give yourself some time, and I think you'll be okay. And yeah, lesbians, we love you. नहीं, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. Sorry.
What? ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
हाँ, मतलब ऐसे शेयर करने वाली क्या बात है. But we love our bi friends and our lesbian friends, but I love lesbian friends more. So, moving on to Kabeer, who will make sense now.
No, okay. I don't know if I will make a lot of sense here, considering I have been there, done that, and regretted it. So, because I come
You've
from
been
that.
a lesbian?
No, I've been in the same situation where I've hated myself.
But you have
Being gay.
you have been into like girls before. So
That does not
that's
make
a
me
common thing.
That does not make me lesbian.
हाँ मतलब एक common चीज तो है ना. Sorry, please उसकी कुछ serious problem है.
Yes, I don't think you're helping. Let me complete my point.
Please अंग्रेजी में बोलना, उसको कर्नाटका से है.
What rubbish?
मतलब उसे समझ में आएगा, अच्छा रहेगा ना उसकी.
What makes you think that she doesn't know Hindi? Karnataka, by the way,
Uh-huh.
also teaches Hindi in schools.
In English.
In schools, I say.
School great, but maybe उसके जो दोस्त है उन्हें नहीं समझ में आएगा. अरे मतलब इंग्लिश में बोल दो उसको.
Okay. Like I said, this is something that I relate with. I have been there, done that, and regretted. And this internalized guilt isn't going to help you, isn't going to take you anywhere. And I remember because I did have the same conversation with God. But you know what I did? I just gave it back to God and said, listen, if this is how you've made me, then you'll also make a way for me to be comfortable with it. And you've got to lead. Now, I then put it on them. I was blessed, of course, of how I went with it. But having said that, was my journey not tough? Of course it was. It had its own ups and downs. I think that was definitely one of the darkest moments of my life when I really felt miserable about my own self, only and only because I had come out as a gay person. Because everything that was happening wrong in my life, I attributed it to me being gay, and that just made things even worse. Like even for those things that were not even related to it, I just clubbed them all and said, oh, all of this is happening only because I am gay. But that was my past. Now coming to where I am right now and where I want you to go. Embrace yourself. Accept yourself. Love yourself. So I think that journey entirely starts from you. So don't blame God. Blame नहीं करना उनको बोल दो, उनको responsible ठहरा दो. Now that's your job to make it work for me. And what's your job is to live the authentic, true self that you have now uncovered about yourself.
मेरे हिसाब से प्लीज गॉड वर्ड को इन्वॉल्व मत करना. दिस इज योर ओन पर्सनल जर्नी एंड yeah, coming out is so personal, and do not put the responsibility or anything on God, on any other person you may get involved with. It's about you. Just make it about yourself. That's about it.
मेरी बात काटनी थी आपको बस.
को भी काट सकता हूँ. So this was not your therapy session. We genuinely hope कि इससे आपको कुछ help मिली हो.
Yeah.
If not, please write to us and we'll be happy to, have a conversation with you. You can reach out to us on Yogi and Kabeer. We are called Yogi and Kabeer on
Instagram
every
as well as
platform.
an
Yeah,
email if that's something that you are okay with. If you want to write a little more detailed message, you can also email to us on yogiandkabeer@gmail.com.
But Patao Baba, do you remember the time when you came out? Like, how traumatic was it? Or did you regret that time? जब आपने, like when you came out?
I think the time that I regretted the most was when I had just come out and I happened to get involved with another guy, and that was actually the first guy that I was ever with. And this person turned out to be a jerk. Thankfully, I got to know about all of that in just 10 days of me meeting him. But that left me so depressed that I really thought that I don't know, if I were not there, it would have been easier.
But you made that about like your sexuality rather than...
Yeah, and that's how I thought. And that's the moment when I thought that, okay, this is how God is punishing me. This is what I have done now. I have gone ahead and listened to my instincts and acted upon it with another man, which I was not supposed to. And hence, this is what is God doing to me, is punishing me. as that. And I just was very, very low that point. And that's actually something that it was not even that I was coming out to someone else. It was me having this conversation with my own self. So I think more often than not, just the society is not as cruel to us as we are to ourselves, which is where I think your journey needs to begin with being kind towards your own self.
But how do you feel about that situation now?
See, of course, it made me the person that I am today. But if you ask me if there was another Kabeer at that point in time who I could have spoken to, I think it would have been a different journey, which is why it is all the more necessary for people that are comfortable with who they are. And if it's not really harming their world, they should be open about it, and they should be embracing that by being themselves, not going out on, or going out with loudspeakers in their hands saying that they're gay, but just being themselves, and as an example, and as just as a reference to society, for people to come forward and see, and like for children who are growing up to see that, oh, this is also another person that I should be aware of, and this is also another identity that I should respect.
Yeah, and loudspeakers use करने में भी कोई मनाही नहीं है, as long as आप 10 बजे से पहले उसको यूज कर रहे हो, या फिर wherever आपके स्टेट में जो भी टाइम
allowed.
Yeah.
All right, with that, moving next to our message from Ashi, who's a 29-year-old woman from customer relations background professionally, and very nicely articulates her situation, is that she's in customer relations and is ready and able to help whoever needs that, but just can't help herself. That is quite ironic there. She was brought up in the UAE and now lives in Gujarat. All right, let's see. All right, so she says, I'm getting divorced from someone who I still enjoy being with. We're each other's go-to persons. But our families ruined things. He chose his family and couldn't stand up for me, so I chose myself. But it hurts when he jokes that I ran away or broke things off because he doesn't see how badly his family has treated me. He's asked if we should reconsider the divorce, but even though I don't want that, I also like avoiding the reality of the situation. I'm struggling to figure out what to do next, especially since I'm 29. In 2 years, my parents will start pressuring me about marriage again. But the trauma from his mom makes me fear all future relationships, especially with in-laws. I feel stuck between running from my family's expectations and being unsure of what's next.
I think सबसे पहले तो, Ashi, thank you so much for reaching out. This problem has nothing queer about it, but still, if you have reached out to us, even though we don't have something similar which we have experienced in our own life, let's see if we can, come up with something which might be of help.
I feel आशी की जिंदगी वो उस 90s की हीरोइन की तरह है जो उस असमंजस में फंसी हुई है, जो कि दुनिया से तो लड़ लेगी लेकिन अपने प्यार से कैसे लड़े, अपने प्यार के लिए ही, because they are each other's go-to people, but the family situations are some things that are complicating their relationship. Honestly, we've just got to take the stand, which I think you have already done. You're already moving forward, looking forward, so move there, take that step further on, and don't let your past define your current life and your future. In that sense. So you already do have that clarity, and how you've been helping others, just look in the mirror and help yourself as well.
Ashi, there is this very deep and meaningful song from the film Race 3. Sallu bhai ka gana hai. Ek baar baby, selfish hoke khud ke liye jiyo na.
Wow. Okay. I did not see that coming at all. And I don't think anyone has ever tried to make sense of that selfish song.
Selfish
song the way you did. And surprisingly, that does make sense.
It's unfortunate that you are going through this right now and you really, adore this person and enjoy being with this person. लेकिन clearly he's not prioritizing you. ये एक ऐसा relationship है जहाँ पे if you are not this person's priority, then there's no point in being in this relationship. Even though this person is a good friend as well, आपके ex-husband के अलावा अब वो आपका एक दोस्त भी है, बाउंड्री सेट करो उसके साथ, अपनी फैमिली के साथ. बाउंड्रीज इज समथिंग आई फील जो आपको बताएगा कि आपको क्या करना चाहिए लाइफ में. प्रायोरिटाइज योर सेल्फ. दैट इज द ओनली थिंग विच विल गेट यू थ्रू all of this mess. You have been raised in UAE. I don't know if you want to consider moving back there, because when you distance yourself from your family or the people who are deeply involved in your life, when that pressure goes away now, you start to see things more clearly.
And newer things. You actually start seeing newer things.
So if you can move out of this setup, please do that. You are working somewhere and you are financially independent. Use that in your favor, if you can. And already you have taken, you are in the right direction. Just खुद के लिए boundaries बनाना शुरू करो और खुद को prioritize करना शुरू करो. I think that should help you.
Yeah.
That was not your therapy session, but we genuinely hope that it helped. Okay, I think अब हमें अपना लाउड स्पीकर बंद कर देना चाहिए and we should move on from here. Recommendation पिछले एपिसोड में बताया नहीं. बताओ, कुछ recommend करो.
What do I recommend? I actually recommend you to find a very good play. And I think that is an art which is kind of getting lost. If you are in a city that can give you the access to a good play, please go out and do that and support that. I know it's not related to necessarily to the LGBTQ community, but I think in general as an art form, I feel that it's a little endangered. Please go out and find whatever in your city there is a good play. Look out for that.
बड़ी ही वेली recommendation थी ये. सच में इतनी वेग recommendation कि जा.
एक मिनट, मैं बता रहा हूँ. मैं बता रहा हूँ ना, क्योंकि मैं
प्लीज अगर सब्सक्राइब कर रहे हो तो मेरी वजह से करना, इनकी वजह से तो बिल्कुल मत करना. मेरा आज का रिकमेंडेशन सुनो, ठीक है. सो दिस सीरीज ऑन नेटफ्लिक्स या प्राइम पे आई थी, रेड वाइट एंड रॉयल ब्लू. उसकी जो बुक है ना, वो पढ़ना. इट्स आई फील एंड इट्स लाइक इन मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस बुक ना उससे ज़्यादा 10 times ज़्यादा मज़ेदार लगेगी. If you haven't watched the series, then you will love it. And if you have watched the series...
It wasn't a series, it was a film.
It was a film.
बड़ा I recommendation.
मैं उसकी तो बुक recommend कर रहा हूँ. ऐसा मेरा मजाक उड़ाया जाता है दोस्तों.
यार मेरे प्लेस का मजाक उड़ाया जा रहा था.
मेरे प्लेस का?
हाँ, मतलब मैंने जो रेकमेंड कर रहा था, मतलब
जिसका नाम भी नहीं बोला. प्लेस ढूंढ रहे ना.
बेटू, दिल्ली में बहुत सारे अच्छे चल रहे हैं प्लेस. There is one with Nasiruddin Shah as well.
इनमें से कितने लोग हैं जो दिल्ली से हैं?
इसीलिए बोल रहा था कि आप जरूरी नहीं है ना. I didn't want to say a name here because क्योंकि उनके पास सही मिलता है ना.
मुझे खाना देना चाहिए आज. You tell me in the comment section कि क्या he deserves roti or not.
Or we'll go with the recommendation of red, white and royal
blue. Okay, if you like this nonsense and if you want us to keep blabbering, please jaake
like, subscribe and share. Okay, like, subscribe and share.
Kar dena. And yeah, we'll see you next week, same time. Okay, see you, poodles. See you. See you.
और टाटा को मिक्स कर.
चलो बोलो.
टाटा. See you in
साटा पड़ेगा एक. चलो.
All right. Muchas gracias for watching.
Ditto. जो कबीर ने कहा